Hey, how we all doing? We good? I hope we're good. Fallout's giving me a little bit of trouble this morning, so I'm just going to take a second to get that sorted out. And in the meantime, say my hellos. Welcome everybody to my first European-friendly stream. I mean, they're all friendly, but this one's time-friendly, so that's nice. Up early and ready to probably die a bunch of times in Fallout. So what's really funny, between the last time that I played this and now, I had somebody on YouTube give me like massive shit for making a really terrible character. There's like a pretty well thought out critique of why I'm really, really bad at Fallout. It was kind of awesome, actually. Yeah, let's see if I can survive with my obviously really terrible character. Quick character review. I am going for a fairly even mix of charisma, intelligence, perception for this character. High agility, a little bit higher luck. Kind of like a fast dude with guns, but mostly I'm focusing on sneaking, talking, and stealing shit. So I'm gonna try and get through with this character. I don't know. Maybe I'll get partway through and decide that I hate it and I'm terrible, but maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't care about optimization. I just want to play a character that's fun. So I'm currently about 4 hours in. This is number 5. So. So I'm on Modoc. I've been through 2 towns, the starting town and then this one, so here I am. For those of you who have not visited before my channel, this is a show where ostensibly I'm playing Fallout 2, but I'm also just like talking about like social issues in video games and talking about tabletop RPGs and how they compare and contrast with computer role-playing games. I don't have any like strict, firm like rules about chat or anything for those of you who are attending this live. Just be cool. Don't be shitty. I think you know how to do that. I trust you as human beings. We've all had a good time so far. Otherwise, yeah, welcome. Let's play some Fallout. So I've got a quest now. I've come to this ghost farm, which we've learned is not ghost related at all. And they've asked me to go back to Modoc and have a conversation with them about how they own this farm and it's like their territory now. And and so I'm like a diplomatic liaison guy, which sounds like a mission that's like right up my alley. I see a bunch of ghouls around here. I don't think that there's too much more I can do down in the ghost farm, so what I'm probably going to do is head back to Modoc and see if I can't broker some kind of peace between these two communities. So yeah, it looks like they've got they got some mole rats here, they got some mushrooms they're growing, pretty typical like caverna stuff. Maybe some sheep and some donkeys, maybe they're mining. They don't seem to have an obvious exit from this dungeon zone, so I'm gonna go check it out. Yeah, I'm just looking for a way out, so thanks, game. These games predate the mini-map. Oh, look at that racist kid. Do you see that? I hate you, stay away from me, you're a bad person. I'm trying to get him to say it again. Don't eat me, don't hurt me. I think it's terrible things. You stink. No. Okay, well, he said he wasn't supposed to talk to tribals, which made me sad. Oh, hey, this kid will talk to me. What's your name, little boy? His name is Johnny. My name is Grigori. Very nice to meet you, Grigori. See you around, kid. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most civil conversation that I have had in this game so far. So that's kind of great. Alright. Really tempted to do that thing I was doing last session and just like steal things from people, but right now I'm really more prioritized on finding the like ladder, I guess, out of here, or there it is. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to escape the dungeon. Here we go. See a nice looking chair. There we go. One thing I do find interesting, or I mean frustrating about this game, is how few character models there are. And you know, I get like this big empty field. Repeating textures. Not even textures. I get why. Like I get why we're you know, we're limited to looking a certain way, right? There's a male and female model for each armor. There's a couple of various power armor type models, that kind of thing. But the thing that like bothers me, and this is the thing I love in role-playing games, is like being able to, I mean role-playing games of any kind of modern sort, I really like being able to customize the way my character looks. Like I'm a huge sucker for, this is why I like Monster Hunter so much, like I'm a huge sucker for being able to like get a really good idea in my head of what my character looks like and be able to show that character on screen as a thing that I can watch. Now this game obviously is really bad for that. Your visualization of your character is limited to what they have available to them. Your armor is a complete reskin. But yeah, what I find really frustrating is like, yeah, that exact thing. And what's cool about tabletop RPGs is that you're only really limited by the media you have available to describe your character. And to your ability to do that describing, right? Because like with some tabletop groups, you know, you're gonna say, okay, my character is X feet tall and has, you know, Y colored hair and whatever. And that's helpful, but it's interpretive, right? Like think about if you're a tabletop role-playing gamer, think about the games that you've been in the past, and think about how you envisioned your character and how you envisioned other people's characters, and whether you feel like that visualization was the same, right? Like if what Piani looks like from Swansong, if what Piani looks like in my head versus what Piani looks like in Wheat's head or JP's or, you know, anybody, nothing that great. So right now, sorry, just to interrupt myself, I'm just dicking around in town because I want to get a better lay of the land, because I didn't really before. Anyway, so that visualization, like think about how you know, how you describe your character and what tools you use to do that. You know, I often, in a modern game or in a sort of cinematic game, what I'll often do is say, you know, it's this character, it looks like if they were played in a TV show, if there was an HBO show of the game, this is what it would look like. Let's see. Name's Grisham. Welcome to my slaughterhouse. Oh, I saw it. I was wandering around in your private property earlier. Let's see. I'm looking for traveling provisions. Dried Brahmin strips? No, that's okay. Let's ask some more questions. Tell me a little bit about the slaughterhouse. Runs the slaughterhouse. If you want something slaughtered, you bring it to me. Okay, I'm gonna go get the last boss of the game. I'll bring him back to you. You can kill him for me. And that's how it goes. Ask you a few more questions. But the drought hasn't affected your business. Oh, it's kind of helped. Oh, I see. So everyone's killing their cattle, but that's temporary. Yeah. Alright. Aha, here we go. Seem to be a capable traveler. Don't suppose you'd be interested in making some money. Always. I love money. Kill a pack of wild dogs. Yeah, I think that me and my two goons can take care of this. Let's do it. Yeah, so to go back to what I was saying, like, I often find... Ooh, that's a lot of dogs. I often find myself interpreting characters as... And as I think that a lot of people do... Oh, a terrible shot. As a sort of reinterpretation of the person playing them, right? Like, I mean, Higgs and Wheat are, or Higgs and JP, they're like, JP said before, like Higgs is a facet of JP's personality, which I think is an interesting self-analysis there. So, you know, like, and you can definitely see, like, if you look at, and I'm learning this watching shows that Wheat has been on, you can see Piani and Bon Bon are a little similar in some ways. I think people tend to play characters that are like them in some ways or different in them in some ways, but repeat that pattern. Like for me, as an example, in tabletop RPGs, I'm always trying to play a character that is like involved in something that I find particularly interested as a person. I find things like religion particularly interesting. This is why on West Marches I'm playing Dr. Grigori, right? Because I really like the idea of playing a character who disclaims their moral responsibility to a higher power, whether that's an authority or a god or whatever. You know, I'm focused on that particular exploration of characterization. And I think everybody, consciously or subconsciously, does that to a degree. You know, they play characters that are just like them but cooler, right? You play the superhero version of them, where you're like, oh, we're playing vampire, so I'm gonna be myself as a Toreador. It's gonna be super cool, right? Or you play a character that is, you know, you play a character that's like you but very different. Where if you're, you know, you consider yourself to be like a, you know, an athletic person, maybe you play someone who's not, someone who's slow or weaker or focused on, you know, other things about them. And these dogs have a ton of hit points. And I think that's interesting. You play, and this is a rewarding thing about playing with the same group for a really long time, whether it's one campaign with several characters or several different campaigns with different types of character. You know, you end up getting insight into people based on who they play. I mean, obviously, you shouldn't... I'm going to get chewed up by these things. You shouldn't draw conclusions just based on what people are playing about them as people, because sometimes people use it as an escape, right? They don't want to play anything like them. You shouldn't psychoanalyze your players too hard. But, you know, I think it's an interesting experiment, and to ask players, like, why are you playing this character, and what do you like about this type of character? What's the archetype? How does it appeal to you? I mean, there's a whole subset of games and you know, games and campaign types. I just shot the cow. Good job. That rely on playing yourself. But for me, I think that everybody plays themselves in some fashion or another. So yeah, next time you play a role-playing game, think about the kind of character you're playing, and you know, why you're playing them that way. Yeah, put the. Oh, these are armor piercing. I thought they were hollow point. Damn it. All right. Never mind. Anyway, yeah. So it's interesting to see. Wow, Sulik is attacking the cow. He seems to have joined the wild dogs in trying to make us lose this mission. Thanks, Sulik, you prick. You know, if I look back at the historical list of the characters that I tend to play, you know, for me it's about a relationship with authority. I don't like playing like lone wolves or outsiders that aren't like tied to some power structure, and I also don't like being characters that are sort of the top of that power structure. I'll often play sidekicks or cronies. I played in my first Apocalypse World game, and let me tell you about my character. I played in my first Apocalypse World game a Brainer. If you're familiar with Apocalypse World, you know what that is. If you're not, Brainers are the they're the class that class. They're the playbook that is like the creepy psychic. And the character that I played was a henchman or a sidekick to the town leader, and he was not a nice person. But I wanted to explore that idea that people aren't responsible for the things that they do, depending on the authority structure around them. It's why things like the Nuremberg defense is an interesting concept to me, because it's like, how far can people go on saying like, oh, the devil made me do it, right? So I don't know. Those are just my perspectives on playing characters, and sort of the freedom that you have to explore certain things within within a role-playing game. And you can do that, I think, to an extent with computer RPGs too. But it's much more difficult because you're exploring within the very specific constraints of the narrative that's presented to you by the game designers. Like in Fallout, I can explore whether it's okay or not okay to kill certain NPCs or to behave in a certain way, whether I want to help the town or not. That's a question of, I guess I can drive them off. That's cool. But that's more a question of, playing within the sandbox that the game designers have given you. Oh, that's cool. I can just end it here. Which is fine, and I think the games will develop such that you'll be able to, you'll be able to do more and more of that as the technology kind of catches up with the technology of tabletop games. But I think that it's even inherently a little bit biased in these types of games, because the question is like, did the designers build a game that is unilaterally, like, across the board, like an even experience no matter what moral stance you take? Like, is there a game like that where it's equally fun, equally capable of supporting play if you're a totally evil badass and just kill everyone who gets in your way? Like, if you can play your way through it like an average D&D player character, or if you get the optimal experience by playing as a good character. Like, honestly, I feel I lost 10 Brahmin. But I won. I defeated my enemies. Okay, fine, asshole. Yeah, so, I mean, that's the thing. Like, a game, I think that you have specificity on one side, and you have ability to explore kind of a space neutrally on the other side. And the more specific the game content is, the more tied to a particular narrative that it is, the harder it is to give players that character freedom. So you're bound in by the constraints of the designer's plans for you, and the inherent ethical and moral stance that they take themselves. Like, if a game is trying to be, like, dark, then its reward structure might lean more heavily towards causing trouble and wrecking things. Like, the game might lead you down the dark path, right? But if the designers are trying to make a game to prove a point, to say, we want the game to show you something about being a good person, then it's going to lean in that direction. It's going to punish you, even implicitly, for being a bad guy. And I think that games can do a good job of teaching about particular things, about what, like, morality or ethics can be like. I think the first BioShock does a really good job of being super meta about that. But I think it's a thing that people are still kind of exploring, like the game as teaching you things, and not just by saying them. Like, I think BioShock did that a lot, where it was like, let's teach you about determinism, and who wants to learn about Ayn Rand, everybody? But it was very kind of heavy-handed and like obvious. But I think that there was a degree of like learning about free will, within the game as by playing it, and it was a meta narrative about video games, and so I think that some games do that. I don't think Fallout is like that. I think Fallout tries to be like, do whatever you want, but because it's built in a society that is built on top of being a good person, it still applies normal modern societal rules to the way that you behave in the game. So all that stuff aside, let's deliver my message from the Slags. Slags, who are they? What's this? Joe opens, reads the messages. Living underground, willing to trade for food, medical supplies and stuff. I don't know if they can be trusted. They killed Carl and all those other people. What can I do to help? Oh, we're going to attack. Okay, so I can't help, I guess. And until then, month's supply of food to find out. I won't negotiate. Oh, okay, so they're going to attack unless I can do something about it. Okay. Alright, let's go back to the ghost farm. See what we can do. Yeah, so, I mean, the meta-narrative thing, Cross Daves despises meta-narratives about video games. I usually do too, because game designers are not usually good philosophers. You know, philosophy's a discipline, and game design's a discipline, and, you know, they're different. So, you know, it's hard to be both. But, like, yeah, I mean, I think that often what people... Holy shit. Random encounter. Okay, so this is one of those random encounters that I'm not meant to interact with. I don't have my usual control. I just have to watch these guys get shot by the super mutant. Turn around and walk away. Okay, well I can't, but see you later, big guy. Okay. So anyway, what I wanted to say was before about meta-narrative, like, I think that I've played a couple of games, like BioShock I think does have a degree of, like, let's talk about video games in a video game, what it means to have choice within a game. I don't want to spoil it, try not to in the chat as well, but I also think that there are some games that do it more poorly. Like, I was really excited about the Stanley Parable. I heard a ton of good things about it. You know, people were saying, like, okay, so you should play it. It's really, like, meta and has all this, like, cool stuff about what video games are like. And I played it, and I didn't like it. Like, I think it just wasn't fun. Like, I get the point that they were trying to make, that choice is irrelevant and that video games are not a complicated medium, but, like... I don't know. It didn't do anything for me, I guess. Okay. So yeah, just, you know, meta-narrative is a thing, but it should be handled carefully. You know? Like, it's like The Matrix, right? Like, the people that made The Matrix obviously just read a book about Gnosticism and took some philosophy 101 and made a really cool movie, but the philosophical aspects of it are, yeah, you know. I feel like it's pop psychology in a lot of ways, which is okay, or pop philosophy in a lot of ways, which is okay, but yeah. Someday someone will make a game about video games that will, like, really well exhibit those qualities. But again, like, games that have anything to say is it's a pretty new medium, right? Like, you couldn't really say a lot with Super Mario, so it's kind of neat that people are thinking about that stuff. Yeah, Cross Daves. I don't know, but Baudrillard, like, someone picked up Simulation and Simulacra, or whatever it's called, I always get the title wrong, and was like, hey, this would be a good sci-fi movie. And honestly, like, I'm the last person to criticize mixing sci-fi with philosophy, if you watch Swan Song. Yeah. Alright, so let's navigate this stuff. So, how good of you to return? I delivered the message. They didn't like it, man. They are gonna kill your ass. There's some reservations. They don't trust you. Or they want to know what happened to the farmer that was living here. I think he told me he killed him already. Scared him off. We assumed he went home. Headed northwest. Okay, so now I gotta go search for him. Peaceful people. Those bodies. Ah, nothing but Brahmin guts and dummies. Okay, so they're pretending to be badasses, which is awesome. Good job, guys. Way to not be murdering scum. And yeah, I'm gonna go and see if I can find that guy. What did he say? Northwest? I think he did. Can I leave this farm any other way? I'm probably wasting my time. Well, let's go in here and look around. Looks like there's some gear. Oh, god damn it. I forgot about the pit trap. Man, I'm like the world's worst Dungeons and Dragons character. Like, you fall in a pit trap. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the room and I'm gonna walk on that pit trap again. I'm just gonna run across that rug. Okay, let's try that again. I need to get my character a slightly larger small gun. I wonder, this whole thing a trap? Oh, the Weaver is obviously very talented. Okay, I'm gonna try and run across a different spot. If I fall in again, that's it. I'm not trying anymore. Yes! Okay. Let's see what's in these lockers. Anything good? Probably nothing, because fuck you, Adam. Wow. So this is an example. I think, I'm not sure if it's it would be this way in the like narrative of the game, but having the loot out open and 3 treasure chests like that is totally just bait for the D&D adventurer style like player for this game. Like, okay, so I'm going to run into this room, and what am I going to do as a player? What's going to draw me to running across that carpet and thus continuing the game? Oh, let's just dump some treasure around here. It's so good. Alright. Northwest. I don't know if I'm just going to run across this guy or what, but... let's wander around and take a look. This feels like he should be around here already. I'm not seeing him. Gonna stand out here in the wastes. That's so funny that you can just stop. I mean, you can stop anywhere, I guess, because they want you to be able to, like, rest or something, but that's so funny. Okay. I'm just gonna head back to Modoc and I'm gonna report. Oh god, mole rats! I guess I'm not gonna head back and report. I guess I'm going to... 4. I guess I'm gonna fight these mole rats. Jesus Christ. That was a fast mole rat. Yeah, go team. Feels good. Why are these things just swarming me? Yeah. Haha. I feel like I'm not a completely useless character at this point, depending on the targets. I mean, that whole thing with the dogs was pretty embarrassing, but I feel like I'm doing okay. So I've been thinking about games that that I can play outside of the Fallout, because I know if all I ever play is Fallout in the stream, I will go insane and never want to play Fallout again. So I was thinking about what I could play, and I was thinking it would be cool to do like a short series on games, like pick a game and examine like what the game is about and how the game shows those mechanisms off. So I think I'm going to start that probably with one of my favorite games, and a game that I consider to be mechanically and thematically like just about perfect in terms of what makes a game good for me. So I'm going to start with like an examination of Papers, Please. So I'll save all the content for that that stream, but yeah, so keep an eye out for that. As I get into doing more of these on the regular and like needing a schedule available for y'all, I'm gonna look into putting my website together. I had one before, but it's possible blender. Okay, all right. So he agrees with me, but still isn't convinced. What am I supposed to do? Oh, find Carl. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Papers, Please. It's super good. Perfect game. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna examine. I'll play bad games too, and I'll schedule all that stuff and find a way to post it somewhere. You know, obviously Twitter is the best place for moment-to-moment stuff, but it's hard to keep up. Also, I'll always have the time for my next slot and what game I'm gonna be playing up as the channel title. So I'm gonna keep an eye out there. All right, so this guy is somewhere in the vicinity. Oh, you know what? I think I remember this from when I played before. He is in. He's in Den. He's in the Den. All right. Hopefully, I can get there and back within a month. If not, so be it. Oh, some robbers. Human foes. Oh no, I missed. So this is going to be a more dangerous fight, but hopefully I can get some ammo, maybe some new armor for Vic. I could use it. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm really excited about doing more streaming and producing more content outside of just the roleplay stuff, because I love roleplay. But as evident by these streams, I have a lot of things to say, and I guess some folks like hanging out and listening to me talk. So keep an eye out for that. It's a thing I'm going to be doing more and more of over time. I also had a couple of people asking me on Twitter about doing, like not necessarily game reviews, but just like discussing games. So I've got a couple of tabletop RPGs that I'd love to dig into and just talk about. So yeah, keep an eye out for all that. Keep coming for the Fallout, and look out for more me yammering about RPG stuff. Also, obviously, this early in the game, I don't have all the details sorted out. So if you have games that you want me to review or talk about or play, I'm super into that idea. Because I don't make this stuff for me necessarily. I want to be entertaining and informative. So yeah. I am totally getting wrecked over here, and I'm afraid that... Oh, Vic died. Okay, well... Looks like I'm going to load, because I don't want... Yeah, I don't want to lose that guy. It would have been a good... it would have been a good fight to have won. But, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and start from here again. hold on. I forgot if I talked to that guy before or after I saved. Let me go talk to him again. And by talk, I mean rummage through his pockets. Oh, he's only got a knife. Well, that's disappointing. Alright. Message to Modoc. I have some reservations. Yeah, so I didn't talk to him. What's his name? Carl. Okay, now I can go back and talk to those guys. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm not even going to go back to Modoc. I'm just going to go straight to the den and get Carl. Cool. Okay. So if you remember, I picked this game primarily because of stuff like that. Because of I wanted a game that does random encounters in an interesting way. Okay, I know better this time. I'm gonna get the shit out of here. Where's the exit zone? Wow, really? I can only get out by running through them? Okay. Oh, this one lasted even longer than the last fight. Thanks for that, bandits. That was fun. Alright, take 3. Trying to get back to the den. This just in. Highlights. Adam gets totally murdered by robbers several times. And yeah, that got messy very fast.